All right, what's going on to anybody that watches this? I shot this video outside earlier, but I really didn't like the quality, so I figured why not shoot it again indoors where it's quieter. I want to talk about Harry Potter. Recently, the movie franchise of Harry Potter lost another alumni. They lost Robbie Coltrane. And if you don't know who Robbie Coltrane is, and you most likely do if you clicked on this video, he played Hagrid, the character of Hagrid. And Hagrid, he was the gamekeeper of Hogwarts as well as the key holder. And before I go on, I want to say Harry Potter, by far, is one of my favorite book series of all time, if not my favorite. Absolutely love Harry Potter. Whenever I've been in a down mood and feeling, not so happy and stuff, it's always been a go-to of mine to either read the books or watch the films. I absolutely love them. And J.K. Rowling, she's one of my favorite authors. I love her story. She's an inspiration of mine. I think the things that she's overcome in her lifetime, or in her life, it's impressive. It's admirable, and it's something that inspires me all the time. And it makes me kind of mad to see how she's been treated these last several years with regard to a certain community that's been attacking her. I really don't want to go down that rabbit hole and talk about it. I'm pretty sure people know which community I'm referring to and the topic at hand with regard to that. But like I said, I don't really want this to be that kind of video of me being angry and losing my shit and damn near popping a blood vessel because I'll get worked up over that. I want to be pretty tame and zenned out in this video. Yeah, but absolutely love J.K. Rowling and the things that she's given to the world, and as far as Harry Potter goes, and many other things. But back to Hagrid and Robbie Coltrane. I think a good way to pay tribute to Robbie Coltrane is to talk about my favorite Hagrid moment. Now, by far, I would say The Half-Blood Prince is my favorite book and film out of the whole franchise. I love the Half-Blood Prince because it illustrates Lord Voldemort's background, his history, his life before he became Lord Voldemort. It really delves into his past, especially the book. The movie not so much, which is understandable because it's a budget thing. You can't put everything in the book and in the film. But it talks about his mother and how she was abused and mistreated, and she really didn't have any magical talent, and the one talent she had was making love potions, and her dad treated her horribly, her brother treated her horribly, and she fell in love with Tom Riddle, who's Lord Voldemort's father, and put a love potion on him. He fell out of love, she was heartbroken. She died of a broken heart. And there's so much about the Lord Voldemort backstory that was left out of the film. But yeah, The Half-Blood Prince is definitely my favorite out of all the books. Then I would say The Prisoner of Azkaban is definitely a favorite of mine, as well as The Order of the Phoenix. I love those books. But as far as my favorite Hagrid moment, I'm not sure if it's the Chamber of Secrets or the Sorcerer's Stone, but it was when Draco Malfoy called Hermione a mudblood. Now, to everyone that's familiar with Harry Potter, a mudblood is a derogatory term. He called her that, and she started crying. She was very upset about it. And I remember the scene when Hagrid, he talked to her. He held her by the hand, and he was very nurturing. He consoled her. He made her feel good. And I remember the smile on her face. She had like a very kind of uplifted smile. Her spirit was very uplifted, and it was just a beautiful thing to see, the whole scene. And that by far is my favorite Hagrid moment. It's probably one of my favorite moments throughout the whole franchise. Hagrid, he wasn't just the gamekeeper. He was a nurturer. He was their caretaker. I remember just how he treated Harry and how he treated Man, I hate I had to cut my phone off. For some reason, my phone is not catching all the audio at the ending of my videos. First, I don't know what's going on with it. So periodically, I might have to cut this video off, and just to make sure I'm getting enough of the audio. I don't know what's going on. I didn't really want it to be one of those kind of videos of me doing too much chopping up unnecessary parts. But if it's not catching audio, what can I do? Yeah, hopefully it gets most of this. But man, what was I talking about? Yeah, as far as Hagrid, he wasn't just the gamekeeper; he was their caretaker. I remember how he treated Harry and Ron, and when Harry was a baby, he was really concerned about what happened to Harry, and as well as how the Dursleys would treat him. I think it was just always a beautiful thing to see in terms of how he cared for the kids. And again, I got to go back to J.K. Rowling. She was masterful in creating characters that really touched people. I think the reason Harry Potter was such a masterpiece is because it came from J.K. Rowling's heart. And the best art is art that comes from the heart. And it definitely came from J.K. Rowling's heart. She wrote it during a time when she was kind of in a dark place, or I don't know if I say dark, but a very tough place, a very tough time in her life. In fact, that's what inspired her to create the Dementors. They just represented how she felt around that time, as far as them sucking any inkling of happiness out of a person. That she created the Dementors. That's how she was kind of feeling around that time. The whole thing was just a masterpiece, I think. Always, and no one will ever be able to take away from what she's done. And Hagrid is definitely one of her most enduring characters, for sure. And it's interesting, looking back on it, growing up. I never thought about how old a lot of the actors and actresses were, around that time. I'm just watching the movies, you're loving the movies, but you're not thinking that, man, one day they're going to be gone. They're going to be gone, and so many of them have already passed away. Helen McRoy, who played Narcissa Malfoy, she passed away. She was considerably younger. I feel like she was only 52, but there were a lot of them that were really old. So it was like, man, it's no surprise that they're gone. But and around the time I was enjoying the movies and stuff, I never really thought about that. You just like, man, you're just kind of in the moment, loving them, thinking that the magic will go on forever. But, eventually it ends. Alan Rickman, he played Severus Snape. I know his passing was very tough for a lot of the fans. Fenrir Greyback, who played the werewolf. The original Albus Dumbledore passed away, which the original one, it's no surprise, he was really old. And the time, it's just so many, and it's kind of, I guess you could say, a sad reminder that we'll never be able to relive the magic. Yeah, we'll have the movies, the films that kind of give us that sense of nostalgia and happiness, but we'll never be able to have a real reunion. You can make spin-offs, you can make continuations, but it's okay. It's kind of like high school, having a high school reunion with nobody that went to your high school. That's the best way I can describe it. It's like so many of the original cast are just passing away, and it's like a sad reminder that it really is the ending of something that was truly special. But like I said, we do have the films to relive the magic that the actors and actresses created for us, and it's a beautiful thing to see. And I don't know. Yeah. I love the books. I love Harry Potter. A lot of times people are very shocked to find out that I am a very big Harry Potter fan. But I guess to wrap this up, um, rest in peace to Robbie Coltrane, and rest in peace to all the fallen Harry Potter alumni. You brought magic and joy to a lot of people's lives.
Ooh, this calls for specialist equipment. Nothing to do but wait till it stops, I'm afraid.
Okay.
Better out than in. Who's Ron trying to curse anyway?
Malfoy. He called Hermione... Well, I don't know exactly what it means.
He called me a mudblood.
He did not.
What's a mudblood?
It means dirty blood. Mudblood's a really foul name for someone who is muggle-born, someone with non-magic parents, someone like me. It's not a term one usually hears in civilized conversation.
See, the thing is, Harry, there's some wizards, like the Malfoy family, who think they're better than everyone else because they're what people call pure blood.
That's horrible. It's disgusting.
And it's Codswell up to bud. Dirty blood. Why, there isn't a wizard alive today that's not half blood or less. More to the point, they've yet to think of a spell that our Hermione can't do. Come here. Don't you think on it, Hermione. Don't you think on it for 1 minute.